Hello dear students, welcome back to the YouTube channel of NIRS of class 7 science. Dear students, in the previous class I was explaining about the time period of a simple pendulum. Okay, so the time taken by a pendulum to complete one oscillation is known as time period. Okay, so we have taken an activity wherein we have made the bob of a pendulum to move. Okay, so without applying any force we allow it to move, take a to and fro motion, that is called as oscillatory motion. So we have to consider the number of oscillations completed by the bob and what is the time taken. To come to calculate the what is the time taken, that is time period, we have to divide the total number of oscillations by 20. So by dividing the time taken for 20 oscillations by 20, we get the time taken for one oscillation. Okay, so the time period of the pendulum we find out. Okay, so this activity we have studied. Look at the table 13.2. So here the length of the string is 100 centimeter. So time taken for 20 oscillations is different for different times. So sometime it may take 40 seconds to complete 20 oscillations, sometime it may take 42 seconds, sometime it may take 44 seconds. So thereby by dividing to the time taken by 20, then we will get the time period, means what is the time taken for one oscillation. Okay, so dear students, now let's go for the next concept, that is units of time and speed. Okay, so this is very important, what unit should be used. Okay, to represent the time as well as speed. See, the basic unit of time is second. Okay, the basic unit of time is second, so its symbol is small s. We have to represent through symbol s. So larger units of time are minutes. So what are the larger units of time measuring time? That is minutes and hours. Okay, so already we know about the units which are related to one another. So what would be the basic unit for speed then? Okay, for basic unit for measuring time is second. So what would be the basic unit for speed? Yes, so since our speed is measured in terms of distance covered by time to divide by time taken, so the basic unit of speed is distance is measured in meters, and whereas time is measured in second. So of course it could also be expressed in other units also, that is distance can also be measured in kilometers and also time measured in hours. That's why there are two units which you can use to measure the speed, that is either meter per second or kilometer per hour. Okay, so we must remember that the symbol for all the units are written in singular form. You have to write it in singular form. Kilometers per hours you should not write, meters per seconds you should not write, meter per second, kilometer per hour. Okay, for example, if we write 50 kilometer, and not we should write 50 kilometer, not 50 kilometers, and we should write 8 centimeter and not 8 centimeters. Okay, we should remember always the units in singular form. So we can also calculate how many seconds are there in a day, okay, in a year, in an hour. Okay, so we can calculate by using the formula. Okay, yes. Next we shall go for the next concept. Okay, what is that? Let's see. So different units of time are being used depending upon the type of speed. Okay, for example, it is very convenient for us to express our age in terms of the years than in terms of in terms of days or in terms of hours. If somebody comes and asks you, so what is, how old are you? So then you cannot express your age. So I am 15,020 hours old, you cannot say. Or you cannot say my age is 10,445 days, you cannot say. Okay, so you can always express, it is very convenient for you to express your age in terms of year instead of, rather than expressing in terms of days and hours. That also you can express, but the convenient way is to express through number of years. Okay, that's why the units of time which are used depends on the speed, or the not speed, sorry, depends on the need, means what is the necessity. So based on the need, the units of the time can be measured. So you can also find out to express, okay, the distance between the two places. See, the distance between your home and school, distance between your place and your district place, distance between your native and state capital. Okay, so like that you can also see the distance between two places also can be measured based on the length of the those two places. Okay, so whether it is how small or how large is the time interval of 1 second. Okay, so the time taken in saying 2000 or 1000, it's almost equal to 1 second. The moment we pronounce, the second is over. Okay, we can verify it by counting aloud. Okay, 2001, 2010. See, the moment, it hardly takes a moment to complete 1 second, so it is very short span of time. See, even the pulse of a normal healthy adult person, it rests, it always at rest position, beats about 72 times in a minute. See, if you want to calculate the pulse rate of a non adult human being at rest position, it always beats about 72 times in a minute. In 1 minute it beats around 72 times, right? So about 72 times it beats for 1 minute, so it is almost about 12 times in 10 seconds. So hagadre, so that will be 12 times in 10 seconds if you calculate in seconds. This rate may also vary, slightly higher, sometimes slightly lower for sometimes, but for children it may go up. Okay, so many time we measuring the devices, okay, we are been using. Okay, so they were used in different parts of the world. Okay, most kinds of these measuring devices were used in different times in different parts of the world. So before the pendulum clocks became popular, sundials were used. See, this is very very important. So we found the pendulum clocks. Okay, before that the people were using in the ancient times the sundials. Okay, so the sundials are the devices which can be used to measure the time in the olden times. Okay, so even the water clocks and sand clocks, so these are the famous devices, which are some of the examples of such devices which are used in the different parts of the world before the pendulum clock is invented. Sundial, water clock, sand clock. Okay, so different designs of such devices were used in and developed nowadays in different parts of the world. Okay, so that is the one. So dear students, so how do you measure the speed? Okay, so for that we need to have a various units. Okay, how do you calculate the speed of an object? So that we can do it by using some units. Okay, so dear students, let me explain regarding that in the next class. Thank you and have a nice day.